Welcome at the fourth reading. If you are following the readings that I'm doing, you're probably noticing that I am still in the same spot as I was with the last reading. That is correct, because I jumped one day where I did not read. You could say that I failed my challenge. I don't see it that way. I am trying to learn how to be disciplined in reading, and I missed one day. That's all it is. So I decided to now read for another video right after the third one. Coming next day it will be weekend and I will be not reading. So this is why you're seeing me at the same location again. I will continue where I left off, starting with the differences in intelligence. He tries to succeed in business, but he cannot, the poet. This creates great smoke around him. If he simply understands that he is a poet and he is not meant to be a businessman, and to succeed as a businessman will be a suicide to him. He has to succeed as a poet. That is his intelligence, and his intelligence has to flower in this own way. He has not to imitate anybody else. Maybe the society will not pray for it because poetry is not needed as much as bombs are needed. Love is not needed as much as hatred is needed. That is why in the movies, on the radio, on the television, murder is allowed. It is not called obscene. But lovemaking is not allowed. It is called obscene. This society lives through hate and not through love. If somebody is murdering, it is perfectly okay. But if someone puts a dagger into your heart and the blood rushes like a fountain, it is perfectly okay. If someone hugs you, kisses you, loves you, the society is afraid. This is strange. That love is obscene and murder is not. That lovers are condemned and soldiers are rewarded. That war is right and love is wrong. If you accept your intelligence, if you accept yourself, you will become clear, absolutely clear. All clouds will disappear. And the second thing, you need absorption and tranquility. Intelligence and clarity are part of a male mind. Absorption and tranquility are part of the female mind. Only a woman can absorb. That is why she becomes pregnant. She has the womb. These two things are needed together. If you are not intelligent, you will not be able to understand what is being said to you. You will not understand what the master is imparting to you. And if you are not feminine, you will not be able to absorb it. You will not be able to become pregnant with it. And both are needed. You have to be intelligent, utterly intelligent to see the point, and you have to be utterly absorptive to keep it in you, so that it becomes part of you. This is just a background. Slowly we will go into the techniques of how to circulate the light. Listen attentively, intelligently, absorb it. It can be one of the greatest experiences of your life. Enough for today. Chapter 2. Empty Eyes. The first question, Osho. Lately, several friends have asked me if I was skeptical towards sannyasis. the ashram, and you. I had to admit to the truth and said yes, at times I am. This left me with a feeling of guilt. I have committed some unforgivable sacrilegious crime. Or is it natural to be skeptical rather than being sure? I don't know if you are enlightened. I can only feel your beauty and trust. Faith is afraid of doubt. Afraid because it has repressed it. And whatsoever you repress will remain afraid, because it is always there, deep inside you, waiting to take revenge. And whenever the opportunity arises, it is going to explode in you with a vengeance. Faith is sitting on an earthquake, and every day the doubt becomes stronger, because every day you have to repress it. Sooner or later, it is more than you can repress. It is more than your faith. Then it simply throws your faith away. But trust is not afraid of doubt, because trust is not against doubt. Trust uses doubt. Trust knows how to use the energy contained in doubt itself. That is the difference between faith and trust. Faith is false. It creates a pseudo kind of religion. It creates hypocrites. Hypocrites. That's the word. Trust has a sublime beauty, and trust about it. It grows through doubt. It uses doubt as manure. It transforms doubt. Doubt is a friend. Doubt is not the enemy. And unless your trust has moved through many doubts, it will remain impotent. From where will it gather strength? From where will it gather integration? If there is no challenge, it is bound to remain weak. Doubt is a challenge. If your trust can respond to the challenge, can befriend your doubt, it will grow through it, and you will not be a split person. Deep down, doubting, and just on the surface faithful, believing, you will have a kind of unity. You will be an individual undivided. And that individuality is what is called soul in the old religions. The soul is arrived at through doubt, not through believing. Belief is just a mask. You're hiding your original face. Trust is a transformation. You are becoming more illuminated. And because you are using doubt as a challenge, as an opportunity, there is never any repression. Slowly, slowly, doubt disappears, because its energy has been taken by trust. Doubt, in fact, is nothing but trust growing. Doubt is trust on the way. Always think of doubt in such a way that doubt is trust on the way. Doubt is inquiry, and trust is the fulfillment of this inquiry. Doubt is a question, and trust is the answer. The answer is not against the question. There will be no possibility of any answer if there is no question. The question has created the occasion for the answer to happen. So please never feel guilty around me. I am utterly against any kind of guilt. Guilt is absolutely wrong, but it has been used by the priests and the politicians and the Puritans down the ages. For centuries, guilt is a strategy to exploit people, make them feel guilty. Once you have succeeded in making them feel guilty, they will be your slaves. Because of the guilt, they will never be integrated enough. Because of the guilt, they will remain divided. Because of the guilt, they will never be able to accept themselves. They will be always condemning. Because of the guilt, they will be ready to believe in anything. Just to get rid of the guilt, they will do anything. Any nonsense ritual, they will perform just to get rid of the guilt. Down the centuries, the priests has made people guilty. All the so-called religions exist on your guilt. They don't exist on the existence of God. They have nothing to do with God, and God has nothing to do with them. They exist on your guilt. You are afraid. You know that you are wrong. You have to seek the help of somebody who is not wrong. You know that you are unworthy. You have to bow down. You have to serve those who are worthy. You know that you cannot trust yourself because you are divided. Only a divided person can trust himself. That's not right. Only an undivided person can trust himself, his feeling, his intuition. You are always shaking, trembling inside. You need somebody to lean on. And once you lean on somebody, once you become dependent on somebody, you remain childish. You never grow up. Your mind, age, remains that of a child. You never attain to any maturity. You never become independent. And the priest does not want you to become independent. Independent, and you are lost to him. Dependent, and you are his whole marketplace, his whole business. I am utterly against any kind of guilt. Remember it always. If you start feeling guilty about something around me, then you are doing it on your own. Then you are still carrying the voices of your parents, the priests within you. You have not yet heard me. You have not yet listened to me. If you want to be totally free of all guilt, once you are free of all guilt, you are a religious person. That's my definition of a religious person. Use doubt. Doubt is beautiful because it is only through doubt that trust attains maturity. How can it be otherwise? It has to be beautiful. It is only through doubt that the trust becomes centered. It is only through doubt that trust flowers, blooms. It is the dark night of doubt that brings the golden morning closer to you. The dark night is not against the dawn. The dark night is the womb for the dawn. The dawn is getting ready in the very being of the dark night. Think of doubt and trust as complementary, just as a man and woman are, just as night and day, summer and winter, life and death. Always think of those pairs inevitably in terms of complementary. Never think in terms of opposition. Even though on the surface they seem to be opposed, deep down they are friends helping each other. Think of a person who has no trust. He will not have any doubt either, because he has nothing to doubt about. Just think of a person who has no trust at all. How can he doubt? What has he to doubt? Only a man of trust has something to doubt. Because you trust, hence you doubt. Your doubt proves your trust, not otherwise. Think of a man who cannot doubt. How can he trust? If he is even incapable of doubt, how can he be capable of trust? Trust is the highest form of the same energy. Doubt is the lowest rung of the same ladder, and trust is the highest rung of the same ladder. Use doubt. Use it joyfully. There is no need to feel guilty at all. Mila, lieverd, het is goed. Ja. It is perfectly human and natural to feel great doubts about me sometimes, and great doubts about what is going on here. It is perfectly human. There is nothing extraordinary in it. If it doesn't happen, then something seems to be abnormal. But remember that one has to reach to trust. Use doubt. But don't forget the goal. Don't forget the highest rung of the ladder. Even if you are standing on the lowest, look at the highest. You have to reach it there. In fact, doubt is pushing you towards that, because nobody can feel at ease with doubt. Have you not watched it? When there is doubt, there is uneasiness. Don't change that uneasiness. Don't interpret that uneasiness as guilt. Yes, uneasiness is there because doubt means you are uncertain of the ground you are standing on. Doubt means you are ambiguous. Doubt means that you are not yet a unity. How can you be at ease? You are a crowd. You are not one person. You are many persons. How can you be at ease? There must be great noise inside you, one part pulling you in this direction and another part in that direction. How can you grow if you are pulled in so many directions simultaneously? There is bound to be unease, tension, anguish, and anxiety. Nobody can live with doubt and in doubt. Doubt pushes you towards trust. Doubt says, go and find a place where you can relax, where you can be totally, because doubt is your friend. It simply says there is no home. Go ahead, seek, inquire. It creates the urge to inquire, to explore. Once you start seeing doubt as a friend, as an occasion, not against trust, but pushing you towards it, suddenly guilt disappears. There's a great joy. Even when you doubt joyously, you doubt consciously, and you use doubt to find trust. It is absolutely normal. You say, I don't know if you are enlightened. How can you know it? There is no way to know it unless you become enlightened. How can you know what has happened to me unless it has happened to you? It is absolutely right to feel that you cannot trust me sometimes. The miracle is that sometimes you can trust. Just those few moments will be enough. Don't be worried. Trust has such an infinite power. Trust is like light, and doubt is like darkness. Just a small candle of trust is enough to destroy the darkness of ages. The darkness cannot say, I have lived in this place for so long, I cannot leave so easily. And I cannot leave only because of this small candle. Even a small candle has more potential than the darkness of ages, of centuries, of thousands of lives. But it will have to go once the light is there. It has to go. Those few moments of trust, let them be few and far between. Don't be worried, they are enough to destroy all your doubts slowly, slowly. And by destroying, I mean just releasing the energy contained in doubt, just breaking the shell called doubt. And deep inside you will find the pure energy to trust. Once it is released, more and more trust will be available to you. You say, I don't know if you are enlightened. Good, that you don't believe. If you start believing, you will stop seeking. A believer never moves. He has already believed. That is why there are millions of people worshipping in churches, temples, mosques, gurdwaras, but their worship is out of belief. Because it is out of belief those millions of people remain irreligious. They don't search for God. They don't seek God. They have already accepted. Their acceptance is lame. They have not struggled for it. They have not earned it. You have to fight. You have to struggle and you have to earn. Nothing is without a price in life. You have to pay the price. They have not paid the price, and they think that just by worshipping in a temple they will attain. They are utter fools. They are wasting their time. All their worship is just an illusion. The real religious person cannot believe. He searches because he cannot believe. He remains in doubt, and nobody can be at rest with doubt. One has to seek and search to find. Doubt goes on gnawing at your being, goes on goading you. Search, seek, find, and don't be contented before you have found. Good that you cannot believe. Only remember, there is no need to believe, and there is no need to disbelieve. And what is happening? I am happy, you say. I can only feel your beauty and trust. That's all that's needed. That's enough, more than enough. That will become the boat to the other shore. If you can feel my love, you can feel my trust in you. If you can feel my hope in you, if you can see that something beautiful has happened, although you don't know what exactly it is. You cannot define it and you cannot explain it. But if you can even feel that, something of the beyond, that's what beauty is. Beauty is always of the beyond. Whenever you see a rose flower and you say it is beautiful, what do you mean? You are saying that you have seen something of the beyond, something invisible has become visible to you. You cannot prove it. If somebody else standing by your side denies seeing any beauty in the rose, you cannot prove it. There is no way. You will just have to shrug your shoulders. You will say then nothing can be done about it. I see and you don't see. And that is that. You cannot go to the scientist to dissect the rose and find whether it contains beauty or not. It does not contain it. The beauty is not contained in the rose. The beauty is from beyond. It simply dances on the rose. Those who have eyes will see. Those who don't have eyes will not see. You can take the rose to the chemist. He will dissect it. He will find everything that is in the rose, but beauty is not in the rose. The rose was just an occasion for beauty to descend from the beyond. The rose was just a screen for beauty to play upon it. The rose was just a stage for the drama to happen. It is not the drama itself. You take the rose away, you dissect the rose, you cut it into pieces, you find all the constituents, but beauty is not a constituent of the rose, although without the rose the beauty cannot descend. It is just like the sun rises in the morning and the rays are dancing on the lotus pond. You don't see the rays themselves. You can't see. That's what the secret of the golden flower says. You can't see the essence. You can't see life. All that you can see are only the consequences. Have you ever seen light itself? No, you have never seen it. If you think you have seen light itself, you have not thought about it. You have not pondered over it. You have seen illuminated things. You have not seen the light itself. You have seen the glistering pond. You have seen the glowing lotus. You have seen the radiant face of your woman or man or child. You have seen the luminous world. But have you seen the light itself? There is nothing for the light to play upon. You will not be able to see it if there is nothing for the light to play upon. That's why the moment the astronauts go away from the Earth, even in the daytime, the sky is dark, utterly dark, because you cannot see light itself. And there is nothing there for the light to play upon, hence the infinite sky is dark. You see light on the stars, because stars become the playground for the light, but surrounding the stars, it is all darkness, because there is nothing to obstruct the light. And unless the light is obstructed, you cannot see it. You cannot see enlightenment. You cannot see because it does not reflect. You can see only the consequence of it. You cannot see what has happened to me, but you can see something has happened. Something like X. There is no need to call it enlightenment, either just X will do. Something mysterious has happened, and the more you feel me, the more you will become aware of it. And the more you become aware of it, something inside you will start responding to it. What has happened to me can trigger a process in you. It cannot be the cause of your enlightenment. Remember, your enlightenment will not be the effect of my enlightenment. There is no cause and effect relationship between the master and the disciple. There is a totally different kind of relationship. Just in this century, Carl Gustav Jung was able to penetrate into the mystery of that different kind of relationship. He calls it synchronicity. Cause and effect is a scientific relationship. Synchronicity is a poetic relationship. By synchronicity, what is meant is that if something has happened somewhere and you become available to it, you remain vulnerable to it. Something can start responding in you, parallel to it, but it has not been the cause of it. It cannot cause it. It is just like somebody is playing beautiful music and the great desire arises in you to dance. It is not caused by the music, it is a parallel response in you. Something that was fast asleep in you. The energy to dance has been hit, not caused, just hit, provoked, inspired. It is synchronicity. If it is a cause, then it will happen to everybody. For example, you are here. 3,000 sannyasins are present. I am available to all of you. But all of you are not available to me. Or even if you are available to me, you are available in different ways. The quality differs. The quality differs. If I can be a cause of your enlightenment, then all 3,000 of you will become enlightened. But I am not the cause. I can only become a catalytic agent. Oh, okay. But for that you have to be open towards me. If I were a cause, there would be no need for you to be open to me. Fire burns whether the wood is open or not. It is a cause. Water evaporates at 100 degrees of heat. Whether it is open to the heat or not, it doesn't matter. Cause and effect is a blind relationship. It is materialistic. It is between matter and matter. But synchronicity is not material. It is spiritual. It is poetic. It is a love affair. If you become open to me, something will start happening to you. And remember, I am not the cause of it. You need not thank me. You need not to be grateful to me. I am not the cause of it. If anybody is the cause of it, it is you, because you opened towards me. I could not have done it alone. There is no doing on my part. All that is needed for me to be present and for you to be present is for you to be present. Then something will start happening, and nobody is doing it. Neither I am doing it nor you are doing it. I am available, you become available. And these two energies fall into a love affair. They start dancing together. So don't be worried that you cannot know about my enlightenment. This is enough, you say. I can only feel your beauty and trust. This will do. And once it has happened in you, you will know. To know a Buddha, one has to become a Buddha. To know a Christ, one has to be a Christ. And I will leave you on this note before starting in a couple of days on the second question to Osho in this book. Thanks again for watching and your attention and or listening, and I hope to see you again in the fifth reading.